So this is from Robert Bellinson. Happy holidays, Lee. Greedy agents sure make following baseball suck. Then their Hall of Fame keeps asking for a part of my retirement. Seems to me that, and then he goes on to say, if the greedy agents gave 1% of the salary, I wouldn't need to give anything to keep it in business.
Well, players have a right to earn money because I guarantee you this, the owners are making lots of money. And by virtue of the contracts that have been given out, it's just state of the art. This is all driven by TV contracts, and it's driven by, are you drawing 3 to 4 million fans per game? So there's a lot of money in baseball. It's no different in baseball. In fact, it's probably catching up in baseball than what it has become in the NBA and what it obviously is for the superstars in the National Football League. So we're going to have great seasons. We're going to have a lot of stars. There's some things, and we'll talk about this in a future podcast, things that I still want to see changed about Major League Baseball. But please, Robert, if the agent came to you and said, we're going to offer you $30 million to participate in Hacksaw's podcast, you turn them down? No. Give me my $30 million. Let me go play shortstop or DH or pitch out of the bullpen for you.
Yeah. So this is great. So many good comments here. And there's another one this is from Michael. He says, missed out on Correa. We talking about the Padres here? I mean, how many shortstops do they already have?
Well, I know the Padres missed out on Correa. I definitely know the Giants have missed out on Correa. And I'll tell you, Farhanzadeh, the general manager, is under enormous criticism of how could you let this happen? So I don't know. San Francisco is going to be a real substandard team now because he was going to be the focal point. And, they got one very good pitcher in Logan Webb, and they got 4 guys that are probably number 3 or 4 pitchers, fill out the rest of the rotation. But I don't know what to do with the rest of their batting order now. I mean, Correa was going to be the focal point of everything. Maybe they go back and re-sign Brandon Belt. Brandon Crawford obviously is still there. Wade, the young outfielder who got hurt last year, he's still there. But Giants are really a substandard roster compared to what's at the top of the division, San Diego, Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think my dog Nona wants to get in on the fans forum here. So, yeah, the Giants, they need some marquee names, and there's really who's left, in the free agent pool. So that's tough. I mean, here's another comment. This is from Dave. Dave Griffin. He goes, I want to talk sports with you. Love the Hacksaw and a fan for years.
Well, thank you. We're here every Thursday with our live podcast, live stream, and then we also add things during the course of the week. And I invite you to check my website every day. You'll be the 3rd smartest person in this room beside me and John if you read LeeHacksawHamilton.com. Next question.
Okay, so these are the comments that come in on the YouTube channel. People, responding to the videos, and there's some really good comments here. So let's get a few of these in. And this one is from Mark Bachner talking about the Angels pitching. He says, you are underselling Sandoval and Suarez. Sandoval was almost unhittable in the second half, and Suarez also got it together in the second half, just like Detmers did. All 3 of them took a giant step forward.
Oh, I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. Those are not nationally known names. The problem with the Angels, and lost in all the conversation of the bad season, everybody kept saying, don't have enough arms. Well, they needed depth. They didn't hit last year. Their team batting average was 233, Mark. I mean, I was shocked when I looked at the end of the season stats and saw that. But they had so many guys injured. I'll tell you, they're going to be a surprise team. I don't know if they're going to be the first place team in the West, but if they keep that pitching staff, and you're correct about where Suarez came from and the other pitchers, and now you add what they've brought in as insurance policies, it's going to be a deep team, and it's going to be a better hitting team. And I think that's a critical piece of this equation.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great to see that the Angels are making strides while the Dodgers remain great and the Padres are making moves too. All right, let's move over here, and we got a comment here from Chad McFly. Says Greinke can still pitch, could easily be a number 5 pitcher, wouldn't be a bad sign.
I agree with you, and John and I talked about this in our podcast last week. That if the Padres were looking for another arm, this might not be a bad choice. Now, we don't know the dollar value of what he's demanding. He's still not signed. The other angle, you have to understand this. He is cut from a different cloth. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah.
He's really a unique and very different personality. And if you can handle that, now he's in Kansas City. Maybe he's going to re-sign with the Royals and just finish up there. But he has had a really good career. And if you look at his statistics, even when he was pitching for a bad Kansas City Royals team. He owned the games that he started, and then obviously I thought he pitched pretty well for the Angels for a chunk of time too. So I don't, maybe he's just going to stay in Kansas City because he's just offbeat. He's really different. But I concur with you. But if he's asking for 12 million, then San Diego can't do it. Maybe that's why he's still unsigned. That other clubs that might have interest, be them Boston or Detroit, don't want to pay that kind of money for an aging guy. He's not young anymore. He's got a lot of miles on that arm, but the guy can still pitch. He's had a really remarkable good career.
Yeah, I mean, it was an intriguing name to talk about, but they just got Seth Lugo, right? We're talking about Tehran, so the Padres may not need Greinke, maybe, but can never have enough pitching, right?
Well, because of the wear and tear factor, but you'd look at the back end of the Padres rotation, include in that Adrian Morion, and can they figure out and solve Ryan Weathers' mystery?
Mhm.
That's two more young arms to go with the back end of the rotation that's been solidified within the last week with what they did by getting the two right-handed pitchers. So fascinating to see when we get to spring training how this thing sorts itself out.
Awesome stuff. I mean, so much going on in the world of sports. Okay, let's got a comment here about the Lakers. This is from Corey Simmons. Russell Westbrook was never the problem. Westbrook is a starter playing a bench role.
Well, he's adopted to what they asked him to do. I don't think he was happy, but he adopted and he has produced. He's doing it because, Corey, he's playing for his next contract. That's the big hidden storyline in this. He's got to impress somebody. But you know what? His numbers statistically in the last couple of years really tailed off. His ability to hit shots, clutch shots, lack of defense, decision making. He's not the same player right now that he was at Oklahoma City. And granted, he's got a lot of miles on him right now. But the role that they told him you got to play, and you're going to have to earn and stay in this role and be productive to get minutes. He's played pretty well. He had a stretch he was averaging 18-8 off the bench. Now that's pretty impressive. But I caution you though, the Lakers are still losing. The Lakers have got more injuries. I mean, with Anthony Davis now gone another month with another different injury, it's just a problem that's not going away. But Westbrook right now is not the Westbrook we remember, Mr. Triple-Double, when he was just carrying Oklahoma City along the way.
Well, remember, it wasn't too long ago that the Lakers had so much young talent, and they traded away a lot of them for Westbrook, for Anthony Davis. I mean, you see these players scattered around the NBA, and you think, wow, if they were playing in Los Angeles, the Lakers would be a lot better.
Well, the Lakers made all those bold moves because it is LA, and you got to have marquee names. And whether that was Shaq or obviously what happened here to make this last set of deals to get AD out of New Orleans, but they traded away the Brandon Ingrams of the world who have become established, rock solid guys.
Mhm.
Traded away a Kyle Kuzma, role player who can shoot it and score. And they traded away a ton of number one draft picks, and that's the big issue right now. As we go towards the NBA trading deadline in February, John, is they don't have any cap space until they get rid of Westbrook's contract, and they have only 2 number one picks between now and 2030. So the question is, can you find somebody to take Westbrook's contract, but you have to give up the number ones to make that deal happen, or you better serve just to suck it up, get him off the books, have all this cap money next year to go get a third star with LeBron and AD, and still retain your picks. It's an argument that's going back and forth, and I don't know if there's a perfect solution to the situation because past management traded him into this mess.
Yeah, it is a mess for sure. And I know you're the proponent of keeping Westbrook, riding it out, keeping those picks open to build it, but they painted themselves into a corner.
Very much so.